Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, December 9, 2020, and I'm Joe Paul, the local president. I have a few things I want to talk about, but first and foremost, I'm hoping that you and your families are doing well during this pandemic. I know it's trying on everybody's families and everybody, so we're hoping that everybody stays safe. So right now, I want to also talk about a little bit about the PSE and PTF conversions. We're up to 322 in the last 2 years, and we have a handful upcoming. As they come up to us, I will let everybody know when that time comes. Now, our general membership meeting scheduled for this Thursday night has been canceled. We went through the executive board and we thought for safety for our members that we're going to cancel it. This is the worst the pandemic has been. We had the most positive cases that we've had. We have more positive cases than any other local in the Suncoast District, which the district, by the way, is the largest out of 67 in the country, but we had the most positives. Now, we did try to have one in October. We social distanced, we cleaned everything, we bought special foods where it'd be individually wrapped, and we only had 4 or 5 people come. And now that it's worse, we need to kind of hold off on this month. Now, we will make it up. We will do something about having a picnic or a barbecue in the spring, when that way it'll be a lot better. Hopefully everything's past us, and it'll be a lot better time, and we'll be past the heavy overtime that you're working in December. So I think it'll be a little bit better then, but that's what we're going to do for now. We just don't want to put anybody at risk. Now let's see what else we have. One of the things I really wanted to talk about, of course, we have a lot of discipline. We have some removals. We have some letters of warning and suspensions. Not many for attendance right now because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So right now we're doing okay with that. But let's talk a little bit about investigative interviews. You hear a lot of talk about investigative interviews. We do over 100 a month, at least 100 a month. So what you need to do, you always request a steward. If you don't request a steward, management doesn't have to give you one. And in most instances, they won't give you one, and they won't even bring it up. But what you want to do first, you request a steward, then you want to speak to your steward in private, outside of the room, and find out what's going on. Like, hey, what did you do? What didn't you do? What should I say? You need to work out something with your steward, because as far as asking them, what should I do if I have a question? What you should do is request to talk to your steward outside the room if they ask you a question that you're not comfortable with or you're not sure of. A lot of times in these investigative interviews, or they call them IIs, they'll say things like, on that date when you did this, what were you doing or what were you thinking? That's not a question, that's an accusation. They're trying to say to you did that when you didn't do that. If you have questions, you're not sure, they're trying to trip you up, say right then, hey, look, I want to speak to my steward outside the room. It doesn't make you look guilty. You're not guilty. You need to speak to your steward. If it takes 5 or 10 times, then so be it. Our role is to protect you and make sure you don't say the wrong things, or sometimes you just say things and you're not sure, and be kind of short with your answers. You don't have to go long-winded into big stories, because next thing you know, you're going to wind up getting tripped up on something. They write additional questions down, ask you more and more. Just like a car, when you got so many gadgets on it, there's more chances for mistakes or things that go wrong. So you just want to kind of be brief, but be to the point, and speak to your steward ahead of time and during the time. And afterwards, you want to speak to your steward then too. So that's just some information I wanted to give you today, because we see a lot of these anymore, and I see a lot of them too. So anyway, I'm hoping that you have a safe, through this pandemic, that you and your family stay safe, and you don't work too much, and you just keep healthy. And I hope you have a happy holiday. And thank you for being APW members and proud members of the Central Florida Area Local. Thank you.